Hi friends, in this video we would discuss about all the factors which determines the process of valuation of your startup. At many times we feel that we have not been valued properly. The investor has put a valuation which is lesser than what it should have been for a startup. But my suggestion would be that an entrepreneur should not take the valuation of a company personally, because there is a reason why a VC would value your company at 10 million and another VC would value at $5 million. और आज हम ये डिकोड करेंगे, डीमिस्टिफाई करेंगे कि इन्वेस्टर्स क्या क्या फैक्टर्स को कंसिडर करते हैं when they are trying to value your startup and when they are trying to put money in your business. So in this video we would discuss all those factors which plays a very important role in the valuation of your startup per se. Stage of the company. At the initial stage, the valuation of the startup is totally dependent on the profile of the founders, the earlier experience they have of running a venture, the perception of the market size of the business model the startup is getting into. As the company matures, the financial performance starts impacting the valuation of the company. At a later stage, the supply and demand of financing that startup and the financial performance and the milestone already achieved by the startup plays a big role, because the investor starts thinking about exit from the startup. So कहने का मतलब ये है कि जब आप कंपनी स्टार्ट करते हो तो फाउंडर्स का जो प्रोफाइल है या मार्केट साइज कितना बड़ा है, वो जो सोच है, या फाउंडर्स का जो पुराना एक्सपीरियंस है, या फिर हमने पहले कोई अगर फंड रेज किया है, वो बहुत इम्पैक्ट करता है वैल्यूएशन डिटरमाइन करने में. लेकिन जब कंपनी मैच्योर होने लगती है तो कंपनी का जो परफॉर्मेंस है, अर्लियर परफॉर्मेंस है, या माइलस्टोन अचीव किया है, या फिर कंपनी को कितने लोग फंड देने के लिए रेडी हैं, वो सब चीजें फैक्टर करने लगती है वैल्यूएशन में. Competing with other financing sources. The best scenario for an entrepreneur is that time and tested rule will suggest that more is good. So if you have a term sheet or offer from more investors, VC firms, that helps you to raise the valuation of the company. VC firms tend to value more a company which has got more offers from VC firms. However, a word of caution is that you should not overplay this idea of having multiple offer from VC firms, because if you do that and if you're caught, then you tend to lose the current interested investor also, and that may create a wrong belief about you in the ecosystem. So सेकेंड जो पॉइंट है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है एक कंपनी का वैल्यूएशन डिटरमाइन करने के लिए, वो है कि आपके कंपनी में कितने लोग पैसे लगाने के लिए रेडी हैं. जब एक कंपनी में एक से ज्यादा वीसी फर्म्स या इन्वेस्टर्स कॉम्पीट करते हैं पैसे लगाने में, तो आपकी कंपनी का वैल्यूएशन ऑब्वियसली इंक्रीज रहता है. एक हायर वैल्यूएशन पे आप फंड रेज करते हो, लेकिन आपको अननेसेसरली कंपटीशन क्रिएट नहीं करना है अगर कोई कंपटीशन नहीं है तो, क्योंकि अगर आप ऐसा करते हो तो फ्यूचर में एक डिसबिलीफ सेट इन होता है और आप डील भी लूज कर सकते हो. Another point which impacts the valuation of the company is typical entry point of an investor. There are VC investors and other funds which have a specific entry point and they don't tend to invest at a price which is more than their entry point. And because of that, they tend to keep the valuation of the company only at a point at which they are comfortable investing in. However, large VC funds do not mind getting into the company at a larger point because they look at a larger valuation of the company. So it is very important to understand what kind of VCs you are selecting. That also determines the valuation of the company. तो आपको अगर फंड रेज करना है तो आपको ये भी समझना पड़ेगा कि किस तरह के VCs को आप चूज कर रहे हो, क्योंकि कुछ VCs या इन्वेस्टर्स का एक प्री डिसाइडेड एंट्री पॉइंट होता है, उसके बाद वो ज्यादा करके कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट नहीं करते हैं, तो वो कोशिश करेंगे कि उसी पॉइंट पे वो इन्वेस्ट करें. लेकिन अगर कोई बड़े VC फर्म्स हैं या जो लार्ज पॉइंट पे इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, उनको ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ता है कि एट क्या प्राइस पे आप इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं. तो वो भी बहुत जरूरी है ये जानना. Another point which really impacts is the current macroeconomic situation. If the macroeconomy is doing very well, the stock markets are doing very well, there is a continued optimism around the growth in the emerging market. If that is the case, then the valuation tend to be more than a scenario wherein the markets are not doing well. The emerging companies are going down, the currency is going down, the investors do not feel very optimistic about investing. So अगर India as an emerging market अच्छा कर रहा है, स्टॉक मार्केट ग्रो कर रहे हैं, ओवरऑल अदर एसेट क्लासेस ग्रो कर रही है, तब इन्वेस्टर्स को एक कॉन्फिडेंस आता है और उस समय वैल्यूएशन थोड़ी सी ज्यादा होती है. तो even though this is not in the control of the founder as such as to in which scenario or at what time they should raise funds, but even though there is no direct correlation, but this tend to impact the valuation of the company also. So just to summarize what we have understood in this video about how a VC firm or an investor values your startup is, first, the stage of the company, at what stage the company is, आपका startup किस stage पे है. The second, the leadership, the experience of the founding team. Third, the competition amongst the VC funds to invest in your company. कितने लोग ready हैं आपके company में पैसे डालने के लिए. Fourth, the current financial numbers and the milestone and the traction which your startup has already gathered. Fifth, the current market scenario and the macro scenario of the market in which the startup is. And also the kind of VC firms and at their entry points. So these are the critical points which determines the valuation. Even though an MBA would tell you that valuation is being determined by the discounted cash flow or the IP valuation and all those things, but believe me, all those projections, the investor knows that all those discounted cash flow projection and the valuation of IP will go wrong. That's guaranteed. And these are the factors which typically determines the valuation of the company. हम बहुत बार बोलते हैं कि सेम बिजनेस मॉडल है हमारा और एक और दूसरे स्टार्टअप का, बट क्यों वो स्टार्टअप $10 million पे वैल्यूएशन हुआ है और हमारा $5 million पे वैल्यूएशन हुआ है. सो दीज आर द फैक्टर्स. सो अगर आपको फंड रेज करने जाना है, इफ यू आर थिंकिंग ऑफ रेजिंग फंड्स, work on these things and then decide how much money do you need to raise and from where you need to raise and how you need to raise. Thanks.